Hey guys, this is E10 Sun from Sunbros. Today I'm really excited to be bringing you guys this brand new video, but before we get started with that, I want to make sure I remind you guys on how to get entered in for a chance to win our guaranteed skin giveaways that we do every Sunday night during our 1-hour question and answer live stream. All you gotta do is make sure you're subscribed to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and comment below with your in-game name and which skin you'd like to receive on either the NA or EU servers under 700 vouchers. And remember, the more videos that you do this with that are uploaded each week, the higher chance you have to win. Alright guys, it's time to get started with the top 5 best supports in Arena Valor, and this is what I'm really excited about because there isn't a ton of support. So what we're going to do, as we did with the Assassin group, is we're going to start with our 2 honorable mentions. When choosing the first honorable mention, which is to say the worst support in Arena Valor, Cal and I decided to go with a very scientific method in order to figure this out.
Using science!
It's like magic, but with electricity.
So Cal and I go into a game 2-man, and all 4 heroes are picked except for support, and you never know what that random person's gonna choose. Alright guys, Daddy needs a brand new support. No whammies, and stop! In actuality, picking Maganga as the worst support in Arena Valor was not a very hard decision to make at all. Maganga is much more of a mage with some healing abilities than anything else. What he actually brings to the table as a support isn't that nice. He brings a decent heal and virtually no crowd control. And there's no question, when another person is picking a support hero to play for my team, Maganga is the worst case scenario. And I'm sure, like always, all the Maganga mains are going to come out of the woodwork telling me about how I just don't understand Maganga and they're so far ahead of the curve.
See, I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve.
Alright, now moving on to our second honorable mention, we are here to talk about none other than Lumber. Now, unlike Maganga, most of what Lumber brings to the table actually is very supportive. But in the end, we didn't really have any second thoughts about putting him as a second honorable mention because the supportive things that he brings to the table are far less effective than what the top 5 bring. And even though what Lumber brings on paper may seem more like this, what Lumber actually brings to the table in a real game is more like this.
We Ents have not troubled about the wars of men and wizards for a very long time.
And now for something completely different.
Alright guys, and now we head into our top 5, and coming in at number 5 is the giant sea monster himself, Crashed. And if you guys have seen any of our other top 5 videos, you guys know that Crashed actually came in as our number 1 top tank. So don't take his spot at number 5 as a dismissal of Crashed as a hero and the quality that he brings. We are really just discussing Crashed as a support. And one of the things that always has to be taken into account when discussing Crashed is the massive difference between when he's ulting and when he can't ult. Obviously, Crashed isn't completely worthless when he's not ulting, but there is a big difference between him in his giant unkillable sea monster god phase ultimate and when he's not. Alright guys, now coming in at number 4, and this one is going to upset a lot of people, is none other than Shagnar.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
There's no doubt that in the right circumstances, with Shagnar being played by the right person who knows how to utilize his skills well, and the right enemy team and the right team comp that he has, Shagnar is capable of doing some really incredible things. But if the enemy's team comp doesn't really come with a lot of crowd control, and the Shagnar player simply doesn't find himself at the right place at the right times, because Shagnar relies so heavily on that ultimate to be a really good support, he can be much more of a nuisance or an annoyance than he can be useful. So even though Shagnar's ultimate is one of the best supporting abilities in the game, it's really the only ability in Shagnar's toolkit that really adds a ton of supportive elements. So when it comes to being a support, it really turns this elephant into a one-trick pony. Don't worry, all you Shagnar mains out there, you also have the ability to run away like hell. Alright guys, and coming in at number 3 is a hero that I think is going to come as a bit of a shock and a bit of a surprise to some of you, but it definitely shouldn't, and that's none other than Pura.
Mild shock.
The reason you guys shouldn't be surprised is because everything that Pura does and brings to the table is supportive in nature. So we start with Pura's healing ability, which is the best heal in the game bar none. Then we move on to Pura's second ability, Sentry's Call, which is her stun that bounces back and forth for seemingly all of eternity. Then we wrap it up with Pura's ult, Nature's Rally, which gives a huge armor buff to all the nearby friendly units, as well as doing damage and slowing the movement speed of enemies, and if they remain in that circle too long, they get stunned for a whopping 1.5 seconds. So in my experience, when a really good Pura jumps into a team fight and decides to throw out her stun, her ult, and her heal all simultaneously, it makes me and all her woodland creature friends happy. Alright guys, and coming in at number 2 is none other than Teamy. And I know what you guys are thinking, the idea of a squirrel in a suit of armor is something that could only happen in a game. Or is it? Now I don't know about you, but that is definitely somebody that I want on my side. What exactly does Teamy bring to the team? Well, actually Teamy brings you a lot. Number 1, he brings you a potential 2.5 seconds worth of stuns. Between his first ability, Pooty Poots, which can give you a full 1.5 second stuns at max length with a pretty good amount of damage. And his second ability, Chain Lance, which when it hooks somebody gives them a 1 second stun. Besides that, Teamy also gives you one of the best ultimates in the game for support, and being a bro, in which Teamy channels their armor's resurrective powers to protect themselves and the nearby ally with the lowest health for 3 seconds, and what it does is it actually revives you and it gives you a pretty solid amount of health upon coming back to life. So not only does Teamy bring you all kinds of crowd control, he also brings to the table the ability to resurrect a teammate and himself from the dead, which cannot be measured in how potent that can actually be for your team. Now I don't know about you, but that is exactly the kind of guy that I want to ride into battle with.
The Squirrel! Onward now, my mighty steed!
Alright guys, and our winner for the number 1 support in all of Arena Valor contest is...
It's right in the end. Good luck.
Alice.
Welcome to the big leagues, buddy.
The reason that Alice comes in at number 1 is because she simply has the highest support potential of any hero in the game. So whether you have an enemy assassin jumping your backline or you need to be set up to kill the enemy marksman, boom, you have her first ability, a stun, Sunshine. Did your team get in over their heads? Or maybe you just need a small boost to help you win a team fight. In comes Alice's second ability, Friendship, which gives herself and all nearby ally heroes a shield and a movement speed boost. And as if that wasn't enough, you got that big bad Fed guy on the other team jumping in to screw your life up again, and Alice throws down her ultimate, Hissy Fit, which not only silences and eats the cooldown of his ultimate. As if that wasn't enough, it's also a giant circle that reduces enemy movement speed, decreases their magic defense, and deals damage over time. When I think of a good support, the number 1 that I think about is which one of these heroes is best able to ruin the plans of the enemy team. And that's Alice without a doubt. Nobody mixes in a more perfect blend of offensive and defensive abilities in order to help turn the tide for their team and ultimately lead them to victory. Alright guys, that is our top 5 supports. We hope you guys enjoyed the video. To recap, coming in at number 5 is Crushed. Coming in at number 4 is Shagnar. Coming in at number 3, Pura. Number 2, Teamy. And of course, our number 1 best support in all of Arena Valor is Alice. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and as always, till next time.